Hi.
Hi. We got out, went to Griffith Park today, so if you hear cars, we're not in the wilderness. We're the closest we can be to the wilderness without having to drive.
I could see
three
the car from
hours
here.
in LA. There's even traffic in their wilderness.
But
right?
look, there's trees and leaves and dirt behind
And
us.
a big metal
You don't
monitor.
see that pole.
I think even these little things are fake.
Oh, the little
Fences.
wood partition.
This is some Disneyland shit right here.
I was gonna say when we first got here, and I was like, kind of feels like we
Yeah.
got into Adventureland for free.
Yeah, they
You
got
know?
these walkways here at Griffith Park, and they have these kind of like fences, perimeter fences, and they're all faux. It's all fake.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can
just
see the steel
realizing.
rod coming out of it, and it's all fake.
It is just like Disneyland because we just realized that you have to pay $10 per hour
To park here.
to park. Not where we are, but if you want to park where there's like a view coming down the hill, like
Right.
literally on the
If you
side of the
wanna-
mountain.
If you want to park on the side of the sketchy ass mountain where people can hit you,
$10
you
an
got to pay
hour.
$10 an hour to do that. What are we going to talk about?
We were going to talk about career paths, career choices in general.
You know, 2020 and 2021 with the lockdown and the revealing of people's true selves. All these weird non-laws being pushed upon people adopting these things has really made me go full circle to what path you and I were originally on when we first got together. And that was creating something together.
Right.
Before shit got real gnarly
Right.
there for a second.
Right.
And then we both got into the mindset of service providing, right?
I work in entertainment. You know, I'm a makeup artist primarily. I'm in that industry. And for many, many years, my goal was to get into the union or to be
That's right.
with an agency, be an agency.
That was a big deal for
represented
you for a
makeup
while.
artist. Yeah, because in my mind, being with an agency or being with a union meant
Oh, look, LA Forest Eagles. Hear
The call of the
of the
wild.
wild here in Los Angeles.
It is what it is. So what I was saying, that was my goal, was to get into the union or be with an agency. And the primary reason was I was thinking of retirement, security.
Right.
You know, my mom always taught me or tried to instill in me like working a 9-to-5 and getting those benefits was important, you know, medical insurance, blah, blah, blah.
And that
Started-
did good for her. That generation, it worked.
Because she was able to retire and get her pension.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the last of the Mohicans. But beyond all of that though, in my head, I started to panic around the time we got together because I wasn't sure where I was going with my career. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get back into makeup, I need to be with a union or with an agency. God, as soon as the pandemic hit, that all changed.
Before the pandemic, you had already shifted about the union because she was working more on her own and hustling up her own work more than a lot of her union friends.
Also, there's long hours. It was gonna pull me away from my family.
And living and creating.
Yes, you know, you can be on set 14, 16 hours and then less than 10 hours later, you have to be back on set. And this can go anywhere from a week to months, 6 months, depending on, you know, what project you're working on. Or let's say a television show. Years.
Yeah.
You can work on that show for years.
Yes. And so let's back up even more.
Okay.
And let's go back to when we first met.
Okay.
When we first met was at a gallery that I had put together with some other people. And we were doing a lot of awesome things.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly what it was for me was me manifesting my dreams.
Yes.
And actually seeing the hard work pay off.
Mm-hmm.
But just be very selective with who you roll with, because when you roll with the wrong people, all of your hard work means dick all, and it could just blow up in your face, which it did when we got together. All too good to be true things revealed themselves to be too good to be true. Right? We went from working 7 days a week, 15, 16, 17 hours a day, was doing multiple shows a month, working with a couple dozen artists at a time, trying to start a tattoo studio with her, building the website, doing this, doing that. It's just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And all of that just stopped abruptly and in a really bad way. Financially, legally, everything stopped.
That's true.
I was living out of a storage unit. Her and I were jumping around, staying with friends. I mean, we had nothing. There's a lot of concerns when you're at that age and
Yeah.
you're at that state. So we were just like, how can we get back into the service providing thing,
Yeah,
you know?
stability.
Yeah,
So-
like not worrying about things like how are we going to be able to afford food? Little things.
Or just like what happens if we get sick.
So I wasn't even thinking about any
I
of that
was.
shit. I was thinking about food.
Our teeth were causing us problems. So
Oh, yeah.
that's what made me want to consider joining the union.
Right.
Was because of our teeth situation.
Right, we wanted those benefits.
I wanted the benefits, and then it just didn't make sense to me.
Those squirrels are getting it. Los Angeles squirrels don't fuck around.
They don't. You better watch your back.
They'll talk shit. They talk shit, and they'll throw stuff at you.
They'll harass your dogs.
And they'll fucking cut you.
Watch your shit.
Started doing comic books again, which, I really didn't want to do because that's moving backwards. I wasn't at that same level I was when I left it years before. But then I got back on that same level.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, finally some payoff. It was starting to look good. Like, oh, okay, well, maybe, God put me back on this path. I should be grateful for the skill sets that I had developed and the relationships and the work that I had put out there that got me a reputation. And I shouldn't be poo-pooing on that stuff. I should look at it as a blessing. But we were talking about this earlier about how when you start doing things that you're really not supposed to do, you start to meet resistance, right?
Oh, yeah, something will blow it up.
As good as it may seem at that moment, right?
Yeah.
And my vision has always been self-reliance. And I've always gotten on that path, and then something has taken me off that path because that path is hard, and sometimes you want to break. But God is good, and He puts me back on the path, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
And that's what you're watching right now, is us getting back on that path and connecting with people, real living men and women. Even though it's through this digital platform, I feel like my connection to the living is going to happen a lot quicker doing it my way than it is rolling with the dead, which is the fantasy world. There's a reason why The Walking Dead is so popular. Part of this video series is sharing that without coming from the place of victimhood. Things happen, bad things happen, challenges happen to all of us, right? So when I share it to you, it's just to share that this is how I'm overcoming it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get caught up in it. If that's who they choose to be, that's their journey. It's my responsibility to realize that and realize my journey and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm with a lady that feels very similar. Her and I have different perspectives on what's happening, what's going to happen, but we're the same where it matters.
Yes. For me, there's some things that I tolerate in order to work. There's definitely a point that I won't cross.
Listen, we all have choices. If you can say that you have to do it or you're going to lose your job, you don't have to do shit.
No. You have to think about what's the most important for the future, not at this moment, because after the fact is over, you still need to be living in order for any of this to matter.
The longevity of my health, my sanity, my living body that is receiving a soul, that is the most important thing to me.
I don't care what anybody else says. Nothing else matters more than what I tell myself. And if I have guilt or remorse about something that I did, that I put myself in just to make $1 today instead of thinking about the future, about being a liability to people, of whatever. If it comes down to money or health, I'm going to choose my future and my health. I will always find money, but I can't find health. I can't. But if I make a bad decision,
health.
Yes, like today, money comes, I can get paid. But if I do something that compromises me in the future now for $1, I'm just gonna hand to somebody and be gone a second later. I'm gonna pay the ultimate price later. And I'm gonna tell myself, wow, was it worth it? Was that one paycheck worth it? When I can change my life, I can change anything, but I can't change something in my composition once it's inside of my body like that.
I think
something like that is
what you're saying,
grand.
What you just touched upon is some powerful juju. The stories that we tell ourselves.
Yeah, that's more important to me. Don't live in regret. And what's more depressing than living in regret? I don't know.
Dying in regret.
Oh.
That's the most depressing part. Dying in regret. When you're laying here going, fuck, I had a chance and I fucked up.
And there's no more time. And there's no more time.
The power of reinventing yourself.
Don't be scared to change your path, your mind, your ideas. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
You're not going to find a lot of progress in comfort.
There is no progress in comfort. There's no progress in sitting still. There's nothing. Nobody's going to come to you and knock on your door and say, I've been picking up on your your potential mental waves that you've been sending out into the universe. Nobody's going to come to you. You have to seek it out, because just because you start in one way, it doesn't mean that you won't change into something else. I'm an artist, first and foremost, but I've been makeup artist, photographer, tattoo artist, designer, producer, been paid for all these jobs, but they're all artistic. So people, don't be afraid to morph. That's how you find your journey. That's how you connect with people.
Find yourself.
That's how you find yourself.
Find what you like.
Because being brave is going to be the thing that saves your life. Even just, it's like leaving the house.
Right on, everybody. Remember, it's nothing more powerful than reinventing yourself. So go reinvent yourself and share your stories with us, because that will in turn inspire us.
I want to hear about it, because we're going to tell you about ours.
Yeah, hopefully you'll tune in and experience how we're sharing our reinvention.
Yep, because we got a journey.
Speaking of, we got to get back to work.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Peace out. Really? What are you going to do to that squirrel? That squirrel's just like minding its business.
If I told her go get it, she would lose her mind. Look at that cute little squirrel just minding his business.
Take off these masks,